So today, while I'm enjoying the sunshine, I thought I'd share with you one instance where recently we saw God's hand in our lives. It was just a small incident. It was one of those things that some people might pass off as coincidence, but I know that it wasn't just a coincidence because I know that Heavenly Father appreciates that we were trying to do what we were supposed to do and appreciates my son. So my son just recently got his mission call for our church to serve for 2 years in Winnipeg, and we needed to buy some suits for him and some different clothes, suits and shirts and extra slacks and shoes and whatever, just all the stuff that a missionary needs. And when we went to Anchorage, my daughter decided she wanted to come with us, and I was grateful because I'm not a shopper. I don't enjoy that kind of thing, and neither does my son, so it was nice to have her there. Um, but we went to all sorts of stores. We went looking at all the men's stores and the nicer stores that we could find in Anchorage, and all of the suits were $300 or $400 a piece, and that was just for the suit coat and the pants. That didn't include a shirt, a tie, socks, shoes, anything like that. And I had budgeted about $750 to get all the clothing that he needed, and I just thought, wow, that's a lot of money just for 2 suits. That doesn't include the shirts, the pants, the extra pants, and all that. And so I was getting a little bit discouraged, and I was praying. And like I said, I don't shop, and my son doesn't shop, but my daughter enjoys shopping. And so we were leaving town, and I was praying and saying, what are we gonna do? We need to know where to go, or is this all we've got, or help us to know what to do. And just as we were getting ready to leave Anchorage, my daughter said, "Oh wait, there's this one store. It's called Nordstrom's Rack." She says, "We should go there." And I said, "Well, isn't Nordstrom's a really expensive store?" And she said, "No, not this Nordstrom Rack. It's the overstock of all the stuff they have." And we were like pretty close to that store. We were going to drive past it, and so I said, "Okay, let's stop." So we stopped, and my son was done. He had had his fill of shopping, but we went in, and sure enough, there was suits, there was shirts, there was pants, extra slacks. There was all the stuff that he needed, and it was a price that we can afford. And we went from thinking we were going to spend, $1,200 or $1,500 just to get him ready for his mission, to cutting it back to the total for that day, buying extra shirts, extra pants, shoes, and everything, as well as like some shaving gear or shaving kit things and things like that. Ended up being $750. And I had budgeted, $700 to $800, and Heavenly Father knew that that was our budget. And He inspired my daughter with a place to go, because I didn't even know. I would never have walked into that store. I don't know. I've never been in there. I didn't know what was in there. And so I'm grateful she was there and that He inspired her to have us stop there. And that's just one instance in my life where I've seen His hand helping us along the way. We still needed to buy the stuff. We still needed to pay for it. It still cost us money, but it saved us hundreds of dollars with that little piece of inspiration, and I am grateful for that. And that's one way that I've seen God's hand in my life recently.